This draft is interesting. We've seen some kind of stolen picks so far. I think Coddle has been a huge point, obviously, in this meta and for OG as well. Warlock has been huge for VG.J, so kind of dipping into each other's pockets here.
In terms of stolen strats, why is nobody picking Brewmaster and Invoker?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Rubik and be like, oh, man. Great stolen stuff. Rubik, great transition.
But people do pick Rubik
Yeah.
all the time. So
Would have just been sick, though. Anyway, continue.
no, but the Invoker Brewmaster, we saw that work, and it was very dominant. And sure, it might be a little bit gimmicky. You wouldn't see it picked up as a first two anymore because everybody then knows what you're gonna do. But you can still work it into your draft for sure.
I think Liquid's a team who, I mean, they even said in the room, like, oh, we theory crafted this as well, but you got to have a really good Invoker player. I mean, for OG, like, they have a great Invoker player now, they have a good Brew player in S4, so it theoretically could work, but you don't necessarily want to like go into a draft and say we're going to pick these two heroes. So you're reacting and going like pick by pick, reacting to your opponents a bit. It's not like, I mean, for Wings they do go like, let's have this combo, let's pick it, but most teams have a very different approach than Wings into going into a draft, and you've got to put yourself in a position to win the game by having strong lanes, a strong mid game. That's just a way to siege, like take racks in a very cheap way. Like if you don't ever get to the enemy team's tier 3 towers and racks, that combo's useless.
Indeed.
Indeed it is. Okay, so opening so far, we've seen this from OG already. We've seen this from VG.J, I believe, as well. It doesn't really give too much away about what they're gonna do, apart from the fact that in terms of team fight, OG is just
All right.
that's stronger there.
That's beautiful.
Long live ROTK is so that drawing.
I put one guy.
I think this is a PG-13.
Well, I was just... Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm not sure if that is.
I don't think that is the gist.
I got a little lost. I'm sorry, but...
Neither the parable nor the meme goes that way.
That's a dang Chinese meme. I'm gonna write that down in my book. Okay, anyway, surprisingly, that did not buy us enough time. They have still
We're
not
still in the
picked.
band.
Lifestealer banned out as well as Storm Spirit and Ember Spirit too. And that's it. No spirits. All three brothers tried to go to Grandpa's house and they ain't coming back.
Well, Storm Spirit, we have seen Freeze perform amazingly well on Storm Spirit. Definitely, I would say strongest hero that we've seen him perform on this tournament so far.
This tournament's really seen the return of Storm Spirit.
Yes.
This was looked at as a pretty weak, low-tier mid hero, but I'd say this style specifically, it's been one of the more successful mids. Normally picked up in that 4th slot, maybe even 5th slot. It's not like an early pick. I mean, mid heroes in general, you don't want to pick early. The only exception is like some of those pseudo OP ones, like the Lone Druid if you're running him mid. But yeah, Storm has really come back into his own.
What do the Rubik and the Ember ban tell us about VG.J, if anything at all?
I think just some of the heroes that OG has played very successfully. Rubik, obviously, just a general comfort hero, but Ember Spirit you've seen picked up often late in drafts by OG, also just now by Liquid, and a hero that gives. So.
And their Jerks' pool is a bit more limited now. Like the guy very. And probably Rubik, I'd say, is his number 3. So you do somewhat cut down on that hero pool available for him to roam around, make plays on.
And he'll be on the Centaur this game, right?
I'm thinking
that'll be
S4 Centaur.
Most likely. I mean, who knows? 4-position Centaur is not completely undoable, but I think unlikely to be Jerks' hero.
Okay, sure. Next, pick it out from VG.J.
I mean, with the Juggernaut picked up on the side of OG, does it give anything extra that VG.J might be looking to ban, or rather pick, because...
Team fight there. Again, it's the idea is you want to have a strong 5-man. So Coddle, you've got during daytime with the AoE heal that complements Underlord incredibly well. I'd say that's probably one of the actually better supports to pair with an Underlord. There's the Jerax Pudge, but it's very much here all about damage mitigation. So you look at Warlock, Jug, what they can do as far as a team fight goes. You're thinking Underlord for getting the mech, the pipe for the team, having that aura as well. We saw a Solar Crest yesterday when you went into the late game, so damage mitigation is the name of the game there, and I think this Pudge does a good job of like splitting apart the 5-mana VGJ. You're able to pick a hero off, and there's not really a good counter initiation for that. Underlord doesn't counter initiate. He just likes to like brute force down a lane using his sheer strength.
True. Not that bad against push though. Split push though. I mean, you put a little counter pressure, but you are correct.
Yeah, it's so-so against the split push. Even with Dark Rift, I wouldn't rate like Underlord that high at dealing with split push.
Sure, makes sense.
In conjunction with the Coddle though, and this has been a real comfort hero for VGJ. Obviously, RTK's like him even despite the nerfs. The team fight presence you mentioned, but also this is a hero that is usually pretty good at getting farm no matter what. Even if you have a difficult lane phase, you're able to kill him and shut him down a little bit. He still gets the items that he needs. In conjunction with the Coddle, they'll be able to pressure lanes and towers quite a bit early on, and with the Coddle again becomes a lot easier for them to clear out waves and defend their objectives too.
I really do like that Invoker pick as well. Going with that Underlord, I mean, you get a little bit more team fight that we were looking for, a little bit more control, and that's really what I was looking for to make sure that this will be one heck of an Underlord game.
I wonder how they're going to manage the greed, because they've got Coddle and Sanking as their two supports, which is like 2 4-position supports, if that. Both heroes want farm. Coddle wants to get an Ags, a Full Staff, whatever it may be. Sanking wants a Blink, whatever else beyond that, Full Staffs, Aether Lens, teamfight items. Neither of these heroes is typically run as a 5. Neither strikes me really as a Fenrir. Has Fenrir been playing much Coddle? Like, I would have expected, because we saw FY play Coddle earlier in the tournament, and then Fenrir is still on that like typical 5-position defensive support. So
Right.
I'm a little concerned about how having these 2 greedy supports is going to work for VGJ.
Yeah, although despite that, sometimes you've seen Fenrir, he's known for playing the 5, but even on Warlock, he manages to get pretty farms into the game, and that kind of depends on objectives and being able to take good fights, and I think this lineup may be able to squeeze that out in the early game.
Yeah, they'll have to probably play that Coddle like in a more safe lane support type role. I guess there is potential for even like aggro lanes. They could give Underlord a 1v1 if they think they can get away with something aggressive with a Sanking Coddle.
This Invoker is also going to be something to keep an eye on. Freeze does play the hero, but I'm not sure if he's played. I don't think he's played them.
He's not played Invoker this tournament yet.
Right. Or I think even on this VGJ team, I don't think he's played Invoker yet in a match. So.
That's even worse.
Could have been hiding something, huh? Those secret Chinese pubs, I've heard the legends.
Now would be the time, right?
That would be the time. Slark pickup. We've seen Slark do exceptionally well at this tournament. We've also seen him fall pretty darn flat. It mostly comes down to, does he have enough support in the early game to not get completely destroyed? Do they have that this game?
Yeah, I mean, early game looks fine for him. There's not that much pressure. Warlock's on the hero that's going to contest your lane. Pudge theoretically could be bad for him, but it's a Pudge center. I'm not looking at that lane as being that imposing on a Slark. So I think Slark's early game will be very good, and there's nothing OG can do to contest it. Alchemist. I was wondering if this was an Alchemist game, actually. I was like, look at this. I was like, do they Alch? Like, yeah, it could be.
Ew. Alchemist, huh? When's the last time we saw that?
Not this tournament yet.
OG, you know, probably.
Yep.
These guys are dirty Alch pickers.
Yeah, that is true. Filthy.
They like to cheese people before they get cheese. That's when I talk to Notal, I'm like, you know, we're a pretty cheesy team, but that's because Dota's a cheesy game, and if we don't cheese people, they're going to cheese us. So
Indeed.
Well, the odds that we see below here definitely are in favor of OG. Perhaps with this draft, VGJ can change that. We're gonna find out if they can change that as we head into our first game of our second semifinals. It is OD Pixel and Winter.
Thank you very much, Sheev. Indeed, we're getting ready for this very exciting matchup. OG versus VGJ. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Winter. We've just seen the drafts. OG finishing off with, as Goz mentioned, kind of an OG classic, the Alchemist. Where's Alch been? Why are we not seeing Alch that much, and why have they picked it here?
I think Alchemist was the perfect fit for their lineup. They needed someone to be able to contest the Slark's late game, and Alchemist at the same time giving them late game plus the Aghanim's to their heroes. Look at their heroes. Everyone can use the Ags. There's a Pudge, there's a Warlock, Juggernaut, the Centaur. I mean, it's a perfect Alchemist game. And the enemy has a very greedy lineup. Because when you pick Alchemist, you're very worried about getting pressured at the start of the game. But look at the enemy. They're greedy. They're not going to pressure you, so you're going to get most likely a very, very good early game. Uncontested early game.
What's the order of Ag's priority when it gets to it? I imagine Centaur's got to be first on the list, hasn't he?
This is tough, though. Yeah, probably Centaur. Oh,
Centaur.
Centaur
Then
and
the
Pudge.
Warlock.
Centaur and Pudge are both the best.
You think Pudge before the Warlock?
Yeah, I think Pudge is really good.
Okay. And of course, also, if we get to the late game, it will be nice for the Jug as well. Extra few bounces.
Yeah, that's actually...
The stats are very nice on that kind of a core hero.
The cooldown's so good.
Yeah. It could be decent. But at the same time, as we're saying, the Slark. This is a hero that we've seen have some absolutely fantastic games. Do you trust in the aggressive Slark? Can this man pull off great things on the fishy fellow?
I think Slug has been put in quite a good spot here.
Yeah.
There are lockdowns. If you think about OG's lockdown, Dismember, Hoof Storm, and the Warlock Rock, Unstable Concoction. They're all not very good stunts and disables against Slug.
Lots of chances to dart packed out. Yeah.
And you can dodge with the pounce as well. So not very good heroes to kill Slug, but his laning phase might be a little bit troublesome if they decide to duel in with the Pudge, with the Centaur. And because if VG.J do like their standard ROTK jungle, FY off lane, and they only have one lane support, and the enemy does like some duel lane, then the Slug might suffer a little bit. But as we saw from yesterday, when you suffer as a Slug, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter so much because you farm really quickly, you catch up.
Yeah, Raven had a absolutely fantastic game.
I'm not so sure how is VG.J going to approach this game, because they could still like technically run like maybe a Sand King Underlord dual lane, or leave the Underlord alone in the lane top and Sand King be at bottom. Then if you do like some Pudge Centaur dual lanes, your dual lane wouldn't work because they have 3 heroes down there.
Do you think the out kind of finisher would have caught VG.J kind of a bit by surprise? Do you think they were anticipating that OG could do this?
Maybe it did catch them by surprise, because their heroes are not very good at pressuring early game. They are very focused on getting farm on their own heroes. If you think about the games they played yesterday, their early game are always very slow, stable, steady. They get their items, they group up, they fight. They pick their timings to fight when they have their items. They're not like, oh, we always have a roamer, we pressure you, we want to win the lanes. They're not that kind of team. So when you pick Alchemist, it's more likely your Alchemist will get a lot of farm against this kind of playstyle. But having said that, I still think that with their lineup, they could still be very aggressive with their heroes if they choose to. They can do like some dual lanes, or pressure the safe lane, or maybe roam the Sand King. There are a lot of different things they could still do with their lineup.
How do you think the mid lane is going to go down, but in kind of the 1v1 for the most part between the two, then the Invoker versus the Alchemist?
Yeah, talking about the Invoker,
is he going to have a relatively easy lane, or is sort of the Acid Spray going to be enough to
Acid Spray is going to be a
Frana?
problem, but Invoker brings the Sunstrike to the table. So your side lanes are going to be always scared. A stun from the Sand King could net a kill. A pounce from the Slug could net a kill.
A root from the pit.
Yeah,
from ROTK.
I mean, you don't get root that early anyway, but
that's true.
That's not going to be
points.
There's not going to be too much of an issue with that. It's mainly the Sand King or the Slug. So your lanes are going to be much more difficult. But Alchemist is the main thing. He's going to farm well. Against Invoker, he doesn't worry too much.
Yeah, you feel that there's very little ways that VG.J can slow
down.
They can
win maybe win the top lane or the bottom lane, but I don't think they can pressure and win the mid lane. That's the primary issue here right now. The Alchemist. When you pick Alchemist, the hero becomes the center of the attention.
It looks like... Can you translate, Winter? We've got some banter going on in the chat.
ROTK says, call me Big Daddy, and Fly says no.
Oh, there's only one Big Daddy in Fly's life. ROTK getting shut down there.
They know the English memes.
They do. The Chinese are miles ahead of us. There we go, the smiles out of S4. He sniffs a good meme. He can sense it. Improves his play. I know, yeah, just looks like, as it was said, I don't know if you guys saw at home, but there's just a small keyboard issue at the moment. Nothing on a Ramses Shanghai scale. Don't worry. Don't worry. The keyboard has not gone missing. I don't think it has, at least. We have people running onto the stage. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay.
a new
Well,
keyboard.
I saw keyboard issue being typed. I'm now seeing someone being handed a roll of sticky tape. So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to attempt to fix the keyboard with this industrial tape, but nonetheless, I think Fly's just like, really? That's what they're going to do? But everyone seems to be in good spirits. I mean, the crowd here is loving it. They are loving VGR, aren't they? These guys go crazy for RTK.
Yeah,
he is a legend.
You know, they call him in Chinese. They call him old captain.
Old captain.
Yeah, veteran captain.
Veteran.
And he's been always the center of criticism in China.
Yeah, he said because he said in the little speech bit, didn't he, that back in 2016 he got a lot of flame, and he said it got to him.
Oh, that's
we get to
that
go.
story will have to wait for another time. But game has resumed. We see here FY on the Sand King. He started with boots. He placed a really deep ward, and so is Jerax. They both started with boots. Not sure if he actually saw the ward.
Yeah, we'll see if he does go for the D ward later. If indeed he was aware of that. Bottom lane S4 as well, just under the remainder of the cover of smoke. And of course aggressive. Already has that ward up there, so knows exactly what's going on. Lane-wise from both sides, it looks like they're going to be keeping both lanes hit. They're not running anything aggressive in terms of an aggressive dry lane as such. Do you like this decision? Do you think both carries are going to find good farm? They don't need to dodge anything?
Probably not, and as you can see here, ROTK started with an Iron Talent. So, standard stuff.
Yep.
Jungle, off lane, then FY will be their sort of off laner temporarily. He's going to take levels to ensure everyone gets farm and levels. Pudge, however, I think can upset this rhythm because he's the kind of hero that when you run a jungler, he runs in, he has boots. He finds you, he can kill you.
Yeah, he absolutely messes with your flow in the early few minutes.
I think that once Jerax notices the Underlord not being in lane, he will probably immediately start to either pressure the mid lane or he's going to roam into the jungle and try to play around the bot area. Try to pressure bot lane or gank mid or the jungle. We'll see what he decides to do here. He doesn't know yet. He's going to know soon when he goes to the lane and there's no one in the lane.
And Jerax, on the pudge.
Yeah, he doesn't. Look at him. He's turning back already.
Do you think
he doesn't
he's
see
realized?
anyone?
Yeah,
he doesn't
realizes.
see anyone in the lane. He walks back towards middle. His movement is going to have a very huge factor in the early game. What happens next? How much his team is going to gain?
It looks like he's going to have his eyes set on the bottom lane. And talking about the bottom lane, S4 taking a heavy bit of harassment as the two-man hoof stomp to hold back the two of them. But the burrow strike's still there. VGR, they're in. Fenrir, with the Illuminate to finish it all off, takes the first blood as they punish S4.
Yep. He overstepped his boundaries and he got caught by the Slug having the pounce to start the fight. Usually you want to get like the Essence Shift to deal more damage in the lane to trade better, but he got the pounce, so he was able to set up for the Sand King to come in to finish him off with the stun. And on top of that, they still had the Sunstrike, so he was dead regardless.
Yeah, they had the more damage if required.
And as you can see here, Jerax.
Yeah, doing exactly as you said he would.
He placed a deep ward down into their jungle, so he's going to just steal his experience at the moment until he decides he has the potential to kill him, then he's going to try and run in and kill him.
I just have to be a little bit careful here. There are three heroes hanging around this mid lane. Fenrir around there as well next to RTK. And so RTK just continuing.
He might be able to kill him here. He's going to tank and get low. He might be able to kill him here. He's going to get the rune and come back.
And this will be very huge for Jerax. He is going to hit. Should be very close at least level 2. Yeah, not quite got that level 2 off the rune, but very close.
He's going to get ROTK.
Oh my goodness, ROTK.
Oh, the shrine. He's going to kill him in the shrine.
Oh, he is. Oh, no, surprise. No, it's not enough. The shrine is good enough. The level 1 hook. It's not enough nuke damage. And Jerax taking a bit of a walk of shame there. Back to the base he goes as VG will take him down. It just wasn't enough damage. I mean, as low as he looked, he's one tanky brute, that Abyssal Underlord.
I was really unfortunate. He was like one hit away from killing him.
So close.
Gosh. And his supports were at the right place at the right time. Once again, Fenrir with the quick TP. And FI, obviously, he was just doing his job, guarding the rune, checking if anyone needs the regen rune, and, and being at the right place at the right time. saving the captain there.
Mid lane so far pretty much going as we anticipated. As you mentioned with the acid spray causing some issues for Freeze. Anna maintaining good control of the lane. 14 for 3 against the 9 for 0. Both safe lanes. Bottom lane, despite dying early on, S4 is being able to slow down aggressive a little bit. 15 for 5 on him. Obviously NoTail getting the pretty much free lane up top. Fenrir is now out there picking up some levels. But beforehand, NoTail having no issues at all with farming in the safe lane of OG.
Yep. They're switching things up, Like usually we will see like FY going to this lane to take the levels and whatever farm he can pick up. But right now the decision is, mid lane, Ana, he got hit by the rock, the meteor.
He
Cold
came
snap.
a little too close, has the bottle.
Oh,
Freeze, too low on mana to throw anything else out. So Ana is going to be fine.
and his shrine has been used.
Who used my shrine? He says to the team, ROTK, ROT Kappa.
Oh, this is going to be bad for the Invoker now. He's already a little bit behind in terms of CS. Him not getting that kill there was really, really bad for his lane.
So close as well. Calculated from Ana.
Poor
He
man
knew it was
shield,
fine.
dude. That's why you always get poor man shield.
Poor man shield and the bottle.
Yeah.
You're good to go. With the old walk around. Bottom lane aggressive. Starting to catch back up with NoTail, but NoTail still with the lead overall in farm.
But at the moment, as long as your Alchemist is farming, you're contented, you're happy if you're OG.
Oh, for sure, yeah. OG with the two cores doing better than their respective cores on the side of VGR.
Yeah,
VGJ.
The way they have been running their strats is they're always trying to farm 4 heroes, but as a result, there's no like 1 or 2 big heroes. Like for OG, they are right now, if you look at the net worth, they have 2 really big heroes on top because of the way they are moving their supports, running around, pressuring the enemy, whereas VGJ is more of like, they have a jungler all the time. They're trying to get more even spread farm across the board. Very, very different from how OG is playing.
Oh, we might see VGJ pull off something a little aggressive here. There's his support smoking up, looking for a rotation.
Oh,
Actually, bottom lane though, aggressive. He's been left on his own. The hooks there from Jerax, and aggressive's out and down. OG.
What a play.
I mean, the smoke gank from VGJ ended up just shooting themselves in the foot there, Winter, because they left that Slark all on his lonesome.
They were kind of like, I think what they were trying to do there, there was like, they were trying to put a ward down as, like, smoke, put a ward down and maybe try to kill the Centaur, but Jerax was 1 step faster than them. Because before you roam, you ideally want to place like Vision for the safe lane, like, oh, Slark.
Trying to make it on S4, holds the Who Stomp, the Sunstrike will connect, S4 taken down. Right click for the Collar to seal the deal, but look at this rotation from NoTail. Comes in with the beautiful Omni Slash, and in fact with the Blade Fury follow-up, he's going to get FY by the looks of it. One more slash from the sword,
Dude.
and NoTail with the perfect safe lane TP out.
That was an inch perfect, and he had a stick.
Yeah.
He had a stick,
just enough
mana for the spin
Just
after
enough.
the Omni Slash and the TP. Any one of those small details that he didn't do, it would have not netted. He wouldn't have netted 2 kills there. He would have only probably gotten the start. But I would say even if he only gotten 1, it would have still been enough.
Has to be a little careful there. He's taking a fair bit of damage, but he's got the healing ward out. He has his Shadow Word on him. He's
This
fine.
is what you want to do as a carry. You
Ooh,
go
and
to the off lane, you help him, and then you give him the safe lane to catch up.
Yeah, S4's going to have a pretty nice time up there. ROTK is in the neighborhood, but he's not going to feel too threatened by the Underlord. Jerax heading up top as well. Maybe between the two of them, they can go for a bit of a kill attempt onto ROTK. They know he's on his own. Let's see what they can pull off.
He has Dark Reef. Okay, they have more than enough damage. Never mind. They should be able to kill him before the Dark Reef is over.
Let's have a look. Jerax with the wraparound. The ping's out into the tree line. S4 says he's hiding in it. You will find yourself. RTK, and here we have. He tries for the Dark Rift. Do they have enough damage? Oh, the Stampede! They'll get it! They'll just get him in time as they Stampede forward, getting Jerax in range with the rock. OG making some very strong map movements and just
Mostly
coming out on top
Jerax.
of VGJ's plays.
Mostly Jerax. Jerax's movements have been really, really good. Like without his movements, they probably wouldn't have gotten so many kills. Maybe just the jug movement towards bottom lane that got them 2 kills. But right now, you see how OG is trying to pressure the slug with the Juggernaut, sitting down on his lane, pushing, trying to force the tower if they can. Warlock is so far still a bit away from his chaotic offering. Just pop his level 5. And Nosetail still trying to constantly find kills with his Omni Slash.
He may just die for Fenrir. I mean, he sees Fenrir consistently coming out with the Illuminates. And with that Omni Slash is hunting for him, Fenrir will be able to juke it out and head back down the lane.
I mean, he's doing the right thing, because the Keeper is going to try to slow you down. He's going to hide in the trees, try to cast his
They're
Illuminate.
so close to each other here. Notel comes back out, but won't be aware that Fenrir is still hiding in the neighborhood, so off he goes back.
Yep,
to
good
the
heads
safety
up
of fly.
play by Fenrir there.
Aggressive's going to head back down here. I mean, a bit of a wraparound as well from the slot. They do want to try and fight. He has the Shadow Dance so he can commit. Looks for Fly. Immediately jumps in, takes down the Warlock. At the same time, Notel jumps in onto the support in turn. So both cores taking down the support. And it looks like they will both get themselves back to safety. And Aggressive's finding in his own safe lane. Notel quickly TPs himself back up to top to continue the farm.
Oh, S4 here trying to maybe look for an opening onto RTK.
Jax, oh my goodness. Can he actually finish this one off? Freeze is very low and he does do it. Jax.
Gosh, that was too highly skilled play there. The Invoker also almost killed the punch.
He nearly turned it round.
Yeah, he nearly killed Jerax before Jerax killed him.
But nearly's not good enough in the semi-finals, Winter. Jerax.
Agreed. That was not quite enough for the Invoker there. And Jerax makes a huge play for his team.
Jerax is having an absolute whale of a time. It's not necessarily, you know, the first few minutes. It was a rather slow-paced game. You know, VG.J were the ones getting the kills.
Level 6. He was level 6 at minute 8.5, 9. The Invoker definitely got caught by surprise there.
I did not expect to be solo killed by a Pudge at this early stage of the game. Aggressive. Has to be a little careful there. Fly has that chaotic offering available, so they could look to try and fight around that OG. Notel, Omni Slash still on cooldown. Of course, working now towards the helm as he is closing in on the money for it. On top of the phase, and RTK back in his favorite spot, hiding in the trees, but they could come hunting for him. He's going to TP out instantly this time.
Not this time.
He learned from last time.
Played the situation right. He baited OG to move towards top lane, made a lot of space for the other heroes. The Sand King without a dagger though, it's not going to be easy for VG.J to make any movements. They have to rely on him just walking in and stunning. They're going to try mid.
Do they have the damage? That's the question. Immediately in. They've got the epicenter revved up as well. Anna, he has the backup though. Fly comes through with the chaotic offering and Anna survives. And VG.J had to back off as Anna is just a little too big. And Jerax up on the top lane himself and Notel. The hook, the rot down, and the Blade Fury to finish off the kill. At the same time, though, bottom lane,
Solo
aggressive.
kill.
Got the solo. He was able to play around the stomp with the Dark Pack.
Not even with the Sunstrike. It was just a 100% solo kill there by the slot.
As for maybe just getting a little too far out in that bottom lane. A little too greedy.
I mean, this is the weakness of like the VG.J lineup. When they don't have the position for Slardar, so you don't have that sprint, you don't have that roam potential. Sand King kind of feels the same role, but you don't do it as well, and you need your dagger more than the Slardar. And as you can see right now, because the Pudge doesn't need anything, he just needs levels. He's roaming around his...
Oh, Jerax.
Oh
my... Jerax, he makes it look so easy. Notel will pop the Omni Slash to make sure they get the kill.
Okay.
No messing. I mean, potentially they didn't have any detection.
Yeah, you're right.
They didn't have any detection.
They have no detection.
So they wanted to make sure they kill him before he gets a chance. And Aloe, I mean, surely not. Yeah, the Shadow Dance is there, but Jerax will come in for a cheeky hook onto the fish. He's aced it up. He's feeling on top of the world at the moment, Jerax. Just absolutely rocking this game. The map is his. He can go where he wants and he can kill who he wants at this moment in the game. 8 for 5, 12.5 minutes in. And meanwhile, whilst this all goes down, Anna continues to be in a very happy place. And as I say that, he does have a little bit of a slot problem, but he TPs straight out. He has the money for the relic. It's going to be a fine timing on the Radiance for the Alchemist this game.
Look at his net worth. 8K. He's like, what, 1K away from Radiance?
Yep. It's going to be beautiful.
This is, like I said, uncontested Alchemist farm. VG.J don't have the heroes to heavily pressure him because they themselves have a very greedy lineup. But if you fight greed for greed, Alchemist is going to come out on top.
Bottom lane FY. Rightfully so, hiding in the tree line. Fly, S4 and Notel grouping up for the tower push.
He's struggling to get his dagger, OD. Nowhere near his dagger.
Aggressive is finding the space though, you know, but by no means is he on the same level as an Alchemist, but that's no surprise. But he's on par with Notel. Notel, of course, did have that free lane up top at the start. So Aggressive still will have this good timing on the Shadow Blade. And even with that, that may be enough to start to set some action up and allow, you know, the follow through from the FY Sand King to come in with the epicenter. So a lot could be down to the movements that Aggressive makes. Jerax, oh my goodness, the Dart Pack will be there, so Aggressive, he should be safe, and indeed he is. He just tries to fight, but in comes S4 with the Who Stomp into the follow-up chaotic offering, and they're both down. OG reacting perfectly to VGJ's attempt to turn that gank around.
Oh gosh, that is so bad for VG.J right now. You were just talking about how aggressive he's still. He's doing fine. He's getting to his Shadow Blade.
And then bam, OG, they realized that as well. They're like, we need to do something about this.
This Slark still has to create space for his team right now. They need the dagger. They need a mech. Okay, mech's completed, but they still need the dagger on FI very badly. So Slark has to make some space on the map for his team. Oh, FI.
Hey, a free Keeper of the Light. I'll take that one, says Jerax. Gives Fenrir the rundown. The Blinding Light will be there, Fenrir. He's running. You can run, but you can't hide.
He has no TP.
Oh, Jerax. I mean, he won't hit the hook, but he's going to continue to go for this Fenrir, making Jerax play with his food.
He's a fast hero, though.
Next hook, will it hit? Jerax. Oh, he's got the hook, though, so it really doesn't matter. Blinding, lighting Jerax into perfect position there. A little unfortunate from Fenrir. Thanks for the setup, Jerax says. 12-5, OG in a very comfortable position coming out the laning stage this game.
Man, they're in just full control right now. It's very difficult for VG.J to fight without like the blink. They don't have anyone that can make a move to create a situation that would benefit them. That's what the Sand King dagger would do. You can't start a fight on your terms. Right now, they are very passive. I mean, they can try to roam with the Slark, combined with the Sunstrike. Right now, that's the best thing they can do. But it's not as strong as a dagger on a Sand King. And Alchemist is just farming away. Boots of Travel, Armlet, Radiance.
He really wants to try and find someone here, but S4 comes in, blocks off the pounce. Aggressive will still try and run, but the Stampede's slow, holding him down. He pounces away. Can he get sent back? No! Notel jumps forward with the Omni Slash, rips the Slug to pieces just before he was about to be recalled.
You can see they are really desperate. That's what I said about the space. No one's making the space, so Slark is forced to make this kind of moves. He has to try to get a kill on anyone with the Sunstrike, so he's going to make some time for his team to farm, but if he wasn't successful, he died, but
Jerax.
Sand King needs this blink.
I mean,
he needs this dagger. He can't afford to die.
Can he do it, Jerax? He might have to thread the needle a little bit. Oh, in comes a concoction that's relatively unstable. Jerax, where's the hook boy? Can he get it? He's hunting. He'll follow this down. FY, can he survive? Look how close he is to the blink. Oh, that's a very feels bad, man. 200 gold away from the blink dagger, and he's taken down. FY, that's got to hurt. As you keep saying, Winter, that is the key thing they need. Middle lane, though, Fly. In trouble, Aggressive. Jumps forward, but the creeps blocking him off. Aggressive, he's got to go deep for this. Does get the kill. Could be in trouble himself, though. Rotations coming through from OG. Can they punish Aggressive's aggressive play? S4 is going to wait out the Dart Pack. Can he follow this? He'll have to blink back off cooldown in a second. Notel. Can't find him. They don't have detection, so Aggressive looks like he will be all right for the time being. Gets himself back out through the jungle and recalled back to safety. So Aggressive gets away with the kill.
Still, just a small consolation prize there, getting the Warlock. Alchemist is still going to be a huge problem for them. His farm is not halting. He's just getting item after item after item. And not to mention, No-Tail is also in a very good spot. He's very, very farmed as well. Alchemist is not the only issue that VG.J has to address.
Smoke time from the boys on OG. Up to the high ground. Freeze and Fenrir in the neighborhood. S4 jumps forward with the hoof stomp.
God.
They're getting themselves into position with the Stampede. Omni Slash is there as well. It's ended up as a bonus, duking out the Burrow Strike. They've taken down the Invoker. No-Tail chops down onto the Sand King. 2 more kills for OG as they lead 16 for 6. And they are getting absolutely out of hand, Winter. This game is not looking pretty at all for VGJ.
You see that reaction? He was able to ghost walk before the storm landed on him. But lucky for them, Fly had sentries.
He's a smart man. Detection wins your lands.
Yeah, not like our games yesterday, no detection.
Honestly, reported.
So that's gonna give OG the rush, getting that big kills on the Sand King and the Invoker. Not sure if VGJ can stop this. They're gonna try, but gonna be too late.
And VGJ are in the neighborhood, but they're gonna have to be careful because OG's gonna feel confident just heading straight up. Aggressive. He's gonna find Ana here, starts to work into him, but immediately has to back off. And that is a man with an Aegis as well. You don't want to play around with that Alchemist too much at all at this stage of the game. Armlet, Radiance, bots, Yasha. He's got it all, Ana, at this stage. He couldn't wish for anything more at 19 minutes in. Absolutely massive.
This is not looking good at all for our TK squad. They are forced to play like a very slow-paced game. But you don't want to play a slow-paced game against Elk because you're going to lose out on the trade, the farm war. But they, at the same time, they can't really fight into them.
It definitely seems a great combination of just smart drafting and execution from OG.
Alchemist was just the perfect pick there by Fly.
Oh, aggressive. He's been hooked. He'll pounce away. Did they have any follow-up? OG was coming in with the wraparound, but not quite soon enough. Aggressive will live. Trying to desperately finish off the last few components of that Echo Saber.
This is like one of the best Pudge performances I've seen in recent times.
No, incredibly high-level performance from Jax.
Landed, I think, did he land like most of his hooks? Like all of his hooks?
He missed a couple on the chases down on the bottom, but...
Yeah, but he landed all the important hooks.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The early game. Right now, they're still just farming away with the Elk. He is going for the Octarine Claw next. So basically, when you have the Radiance, Manta, Armlet, plus the Octarine Claw, you're going to be thinking about giving your team Axe.
Oh, TK's got to just try and dark rip himself out of it. Is it actually going to be quick enough? That's the question. Pops the mech just in time, gets away. Very, very close, though. And OG are not going to be too bothered by the fact that they don't get the kill at all, as they're in a position to push down. You could go for this tier 2.
Gosh. If his ultimate was level 1, he would have died there. Some players keep it at level 1 and they take the talent. Because if you take it to level 2, it increases a lot of mana. So some players tend to do that. But not RTK, so he gets out. Aggressive still. Oh, he's going to get a career? No. He's trying really hard to make something around the map. Like, there's nothing going on for his team. He's trying very hard. They are forced into a very, very defensive position at the moment. And anything they can get their hands on, the courier, a support kill, that would be great for the start. All the towers are going to fall. You're the team with the Underlord.
Yeah,
and you're
so
not,
little you can
you're
do
not
to
pushing
stop
towers, but you're just trying to defend, but you can't even defend your towers. That is not what you want with this pick.
OG, as you mentioned, taking a tier 2 and no response from VG.J. They're just over the side of OG's map, putting some pressure up on the top lane. Aggressive, just sweeping through the enemy jungle, getting as much farm as he can and as best safety as he could hope for at this stage of the game. When OG do still have this convincing lead, and as we can see there, want to try and catch something here.
They saw someone walk past the wall.
I'm going to go in onto the Alchemist. Can they kill him in time? Well, with the brawl, four of them. Yes, they can indeed. The Aegis will be popped. OG are heading over. They'll jump forward. There's the chaotic offering. Actually ends up hitting all five with the fatal bonds as well. And the Omni / VGJ starting to melt. They did kill off Anna. ROTK looking to get aggressive out there. Aggressive? He actually wants to stick around by the looks of it. Okay, Alok just pounced and TP. He didn't want to take the ride with ROTK. I don't know what's wrong with his taxi service. But he didn't want to go with him. So there we have it. A clap from the crowd as this was a fight that wasn't too bad for VGJ. They killed the Alchemist.
Richie won that fight. They killed the Aegis.
Yeah.
They killed the Alchemist. And they forced the Rock. Big win there for VGJ. I think Slug, he was like thinking about trying to stay and maybe get a support
maybe
kill.
getting a kill off the back. Yeah.
And then he did change his mind, like they're grouped up together. There was not much he could have achieved there. Because when you're losing, you try to get whatever you can, you know. Any risk, a small risk you are willing to take. And Jerax with the recently acquired pipe would mean that OG is going to be ready to push very soon. The pipe is going to deal with the Illuminate spam. The spam from the Underlord, the Firestorm. Those are the spells that will get negated heavily with the pipe.
Let's see if aggressive. Hunting once again.
They are more or less going to be pushing soon. Ana has enough gold for his core. Okay, he buys his core. So they are in push shape right now. It's either do they want to wait for the Rock to come off cooldown in 1 minute. The vision, look at the vision as well around the map. They have really good vision. A lot of sentries for the Slug.
There we go, VGJ. Well, look to hold this defense. FY comes in with a two-man burrow strike. Immediate stampede in return. S4 pounced up, held underneath the town. No-Tail will move forward with the Blade Fury. They're looking towards Freeze on the Evoker, but he's going to survive here. They're diving as hard as they can here, Anna, but immediate tornado, epicenter as well. They don't have the damage to bring down this Alchemist though immediately. It'll finish off FY. Aggressive, jumping back in. The pit's down, but it just seems like even though they have the control, VGJ can't finish off anyone else. There's RTK there, nice little side stat of Jerax's hook. At the end of the day, OG get the tier 2, and they do get the kill as well. In fact, Anna, toying with the idea of going back in, they tried to combo the concoction and the hook, but a little off the mark.
The Alch is way too strong for them. Like OG using the timing window where they just got the core, they know that the Alchemist will be too much to handle. Goes for the push. You see that in that fight. They hardly were able to drop his health. Like they can't even drop it close to half. He was always above like 70%, 80% health.
Oh, they've got a great wrap around here from the high ground. Jerax looking for the setup. Instantly hooks in Freeze. Invoker out of there. Out and down. OG getting crucial pickoffs. Aggressive. What can he find? That's the question. He's heading out. There's a sentry on the high ground there. And in fact, they've just lost their courier. VGJ aggressive will try. Have a bit of a go onto S4. Pounces down in time to dodge Jerax's attempt to catch him. But another tier 2 down. Still 26 seconds. They could try and force this buyback out, or at the least do a lot of damage. As VGJ will try their best to hold with just the 4 of them. It looks like OG are actually going to opt against it. They're going to back up.
I mean, good discipline play right there. Roche is going to spawn soon. The lanes are pushed out, so Alchemist goes back. Clears out the lane. Someone's going to check the Roche. They're just making no mistakes at all at this stage. Every small little detail being taken care of. They have the vision. They're going to wait for the Roche. Is there any big items coming on? Centaur seems like he's going to be buying his own eggs. Alchemist is going to complete his Shivers soon. So I guess the only thing they're waiting for is the Roche, and then they're going to go. Just basically making sure that there's no chance of VGJ coming back into the game.
Yeah, and I guess in turn, VGJ's best hope is to fight around that Roche pit. I mean, they have got some fantastic team fight. If they can catch OG grouped up together.
I mean, if you look at OG has really good team fight as well. the Warlock ultimate, the Fatal Bonds.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Both
Stampede.
sides have
If you
great
fight
ways to
outside,
fight around the pit.
if you fight outside the map, I think OG's lineup with their advantage would be really difficult to stop unless they were able to blow up someone before the fight starts with the Sand King plus Sunstrike. But as of now, Roche has just spawned. OG's gonna scout it out. Is VG gonna react to this? Oh, the sentries, the wards being placed.
Can VG.J do anything
Way
about
too
this?
quickly. It's way too quick.
Yeah, they're too split up. Sunstrike will come through. They know that it's going on.
Oh, this Elk is just way too fast.
Yeah, and he had a great time in the laning stage, and there was that kind of mid-game portion where the rest of his team were fighting, and he just played it perfectly, sitting back in that jungle.
And S4 is gonna have his axe in 450 gold.
That's gonna be. I mean, we're already seeing the lackings of VG.J's damage output in these fights.
No one is going to die in the fights for OG once this comes out for S4. I mean, he's gonna have it. They're gonna wait for this final piece of component, and they're gonna siege the high ground. VG camping the top lane, but S4 is not gonna farm the lane. He's gonna just go jungle. Again, safe play, like not taking any risk.
Aggressive. Bottom lane, in fact. Jerax getting again the setup onto ROTK.
I mean, this man has been all over the map, and he's gonna TP mid.
Oh, S4, seeing if he can find out. Aggressive already out of there with the Shadow Blade. Will be forced forward with the Blinding Light back from Fenrir. Nicely done to make sure S4 doesn't get the hoof stomp. Aggressive will survive. We'll look to see another day. And top lane, VG.J will finally finish off that tier 2.
Can VG.J survive this push? That is the bigger question. OG are all grouped up in bottom lane. The creep is gonna push in. But Alchemist is gonna TP top to take care of the lane first. Like, look at how they are playing, so disciplined, taking no risk at all. There is no rush. They have an Alchemist. They are out farming the enemy.
I mean, they have an Alchemist with the money to buy an axe for one of his teammates, Anna. 4.3k gold.
I guess you buy it for the Pudge.
You think the Pudge first?
I don't know. I think it's hard to say though. I think Pudge eggs is really good.
Fly's the man in charge, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens. As the courier being
Doesn't
sent
mean
out.
if you're the man in charge, you get the eggs first.
Oh, I think it does, Winter. We'll see. We'll see in a minute. No tell.
He's near Jerax.
Well.
He's near Jerax.
Is he going Jerax? I mean, Jerax does deserve it, bless him. He's had a fantastic opening and mid game. Well, mid lane aggressive. We'll find S4 here. Not enough damage at all on this Slark at the moment to do it. Enough about this Centaur. Especially with Fly backing him up with the Shadow Word heal. I mean, at the least, of course, it's kind of nice for Aggressive to get a few Essence Shift stacks built up. But there's Jerax and the Who Stomp as well. In with the return play, though. VG.J coming with the Burrow Strike, but Anna is there. They chop down onto the Scorpion. Sand King's gone.
Who's getting the axe, baby?
Where's he going? Has he got it on him?
I think he took it. Yeah, he got it. He's gonna give it to Pudge, I think. Pudge next to him. Yep.
Indeed he did. There we go. Jerax.
I told you.
You're right. He deserves it. He's been hitting some fantastic hooks, and he's going to be able to hit them even more frequently now.
The man in charge doesn't always get what he wants. Just kidding, you know. I just think that Pudge has much more potential with the axe.
Sure, yeah.
Like, Warlock is a heavy cooldown. Great, you have 2 rocks, but...
Well, top lane, ROTK is going to try for the TP out. Do they have the damage to bring in before the Dark Rift's over? They don't. Dark Rift just a little bit too quick for them to do it. He's got a lot of money on him, ROTK. What's he going to go for?
He bought the Greaves.
He's finished off the Greaves and still got 2.2k, so he has been keeping up the farm across the map.
I mean, you can get a Solar Crest, but
yeah.
I don't see him getting something like, oh, he got an item that would potentially change the tide of the game or turn the tides of battle. It's not that significant. Like, I don't think he can get anything that significant now. Like, maybe Invoker can get something that's significant, like a Refresher, Octarine Core kind of item would allow them to, you know, defend the base. But as of now, he's not near that state yet. He still has a lot of items to farm. He's getting a Lincoln's first to stop the stun from the Alchemist and the Dismember from the Pudge. it's gonna be a while before the Invoker reaches to the, you know, that late game state where you can defend and spam your spells, draw out the game.
OG. Flying No-Tail down on the bottom. Maybe ready to look for a bit of action now. Leading forward, and here comes S4 trying to find the opening. FY with a quick burrow strike to duke it out, but the blink force there from No-Tail. In comes the unstable concoction, and this Sand King's as good as a goner. No-Tail finding very, very useful plays with that blink pickup.
Yep, Alchemist bought a blink as well. He sold his armlet for a blink. He's gonna blink in. Oh!
Invoker. I mean,
they have a dust on the backpack of the
Johnson's edge. Ooh!
Alchemist has a dust.
Can they? He's already out of there. In fact, Freeze does have backup. This could be a turnaround for VGJ. Aggressive with the Shadow Blade wraparound. Immediately in onto Jerax. Anna, can he save this man? Pudge in trouble. Down to half health. EMP comes out. Anna pops the Shiva's Guard trying to chase down Freeze. They'll come in with the Dark Rip. They do kill the Pudge. They get themselves out. Freeze, he's going to be chopped down though from the Omni Slash by No-Tail. So at the end of the day, OG, they will continue to be happy with these trades. Getting an Invoker and only losing a Pudge.
It almost was perfect when they killed the Pudge and they used the Dark Rip to get out, but they couldn't save the Invoker.
Yeah.
If everyone got out, that would have been perfect.
It just goes to show you as well how well Jerax is doing. I mean, we saw that in the gold exchange. You know, it was an Invoker for a Pudge, but it was, of course, VGJ coming out on top in terms of gold because of how much Jerax is worth. Top lane.
Can they hold the base now? That's the question.
Can they force out the buyback? OG, you know, 40 seconds. There is no freeze Invoker. Let's see what happens here. They have a fortification. FY. Looking towards Anna, but Hannah's just so big and tanky at this stage. I'm going to say at this stage, it's pretty much been all stages of the game. Aggressive, looking to go in onto No-Tail and to cover the Shadow Dance.
To kill the ward, the healing ward. Gosh, they're not doing any damage now.
FY, again trying to go in, but this play from OG forcing Anna out, keeping everyone safe.
Healing ward plus Alchemist ultimate can make a way.
That's some balance there. HP for days.
That's when you wish you had an Ice Blast on your side. The long forgotten hero.
Aggressive. He's trying to get that BKB done. And even then, I mean, he may not die immediately, but are you really going to be killing some of these heroes?
I mean, ROTK has the Solar Crest completed if he wants it. That's probably one of the best items he could get in this situation.
Yeah.
To help against the Alchemist, the Juggernaut. But I'm not sure though, like, they're still in a very, very tough spot though. I can only foresee the Slug or the Invoker when they get extremely big. They are able to, you know, change the game. Like the Alchemist, the Underlord getting fatter and fatter.
I like this as well, Winter. You know, so aggressive. He had the BKB queued up. He's changed his mind. He's got MKB and he's just picked up the Demon Edge. I mean, they just need damage. If you're not, you know, it's all well and good staying alive, but it's not going to win you the game. This, again, you know, you are vulnerable, but at least you have a chance of bringing down some of the members of OG if you get into that perfect position.
Yep, the Radiance burn is so annoying for aggressive. You want to be able to, I think, take out the supports first, or the Centaur, because his Axe ultimate is just going to save if you jump the rest of the heroes.
Yeah, but it's such a tool. Look, taking down S4 first.
And they have to kill the healing ward.
OG with this smoke. VGJ freezing aggressive, very close to each other. The jump forwards there, and immediately Invoker gets evaporated there by the damage from OG, and OG aren't done. The sentries drop. Jerax looking to set him on aggressive. Dark Pack goes through, but ooh, the hook can't quite reach the Slug. That would have been beautiful if it did. It ends up being beautiful for aggressive. He's so a happy boy that he survives. I mean,
still Invoker has no buybacks.
That's true.
OG's going to try to force it.
Already shoving down the mid lane.
They do have Keeper and the Underlord. These heroes can defend and clear out waves very quickly. But they are not going to be able to kill the Alchemist.
And it just straight in onto the melee racks. Not a worry at all here from this Alchemist, sitting at 33,000 net worth, double that of Freeze's Invoker.
Like, without the Invoker, they don't have enough damage to kill him.
They can slow it down a little bit with the Blinding Light, but there's no way that they stop it outright. Jerax with the hook onto ROTK. They'll take a kill as well by the looks of it here. And they'll move towards the mid lane. No Tail now godlike. I mean, OG as a team looking pretty godlike as a whole here in this game one against VGJ. And the buyback will come out from ROTK. Just as OG back off. Roshan's going to be up very, very shortly. So they can play it as safe as they want really here. They can take that Rosh, get that Aegis, come back for another round, and look at the money in Anna's pocket. Nearly hitting 10K, straight up hard cash.
Wait, is he buying another axe?
Oh, he's getting out. Surely it's Fly this time. Or is he going to give it to No-Tail? Stat pad the jug?
No-Tail is not bad as well. It's hard to say though. I think both upgrades are really good.
There we go. And it looks like it's...
yeah, No-Tail.
Alright, it's gone the way of the jug. No-Tail with that extra bit of stats. And as you said, the upgraded ultimate. I mean, I guess as you mentioned kind of earlier, it's very few of these fights have been about the chaotic offering. It just... they haven't needed it. It's these shorter cooldowns. It's about keeping the other cores alive. That's really been changing the engagements. VGJ, they've got to go for a big play here. A really big play, an absolutely massive play if they can. But Jerax with the setup freeze with a good tornado across the pit. S4 comes in with a Blinker Stomp, pops the Stampede as well, so minimal damage being taken by OG. S4 and Anna chasing VGJ up to the high ground. No-Tail has his eyes on RTK. RTK a little too quick by the looks of it. In fact, Fly has gone down. FY trying to give them the run around for the tree line, but the double edge from S4 finishes him off. Ends up being a 1-for-1. And in fact, back towards the pit, aggressive. Oh, he was trying to finish off Roshan. Jumps out. Should be safe here with the Shadow Dance, but OG, at the end of the day, come back in. Take the Aegis, grab the cheese, get the Roshan kill.
And this Slug has been trying so hard since the early game. He's been trying
you've got to get your ass off to aggressive.
Anything on the map. The courier, trying to get a support.
I mean, in a game where this amount of pressure is being put on, and, you know, he and Invoker both, you know, sitting at 80k, it's admirable, but at the end of the day, is it going to be enough to win you the game? And just looking at OG, it's hard to find a positive answer to that. He does have the MKB now complete aggressive. Level 24. And at 25,
that's still not enough though.
It doesn't feel like it. It's so hard for VGJ. Ever since kind of, you know, as we've been mentioning, the draft, that final finish of the Alchemist pick, OG's kind of little special trick that we've seen before in the past, coming through here. Perfect draft around it. Jerax, as we've been talking up, having some fantastic, crucial hooks earlier on in the game to make it just that little bit sweeter for OG.
I mean, the push is gonna come fairly soon. He's gonna finish up. I guess he's gonna finish up the last eggs for the Warlock finally. And
everybody gets an eggs.
Yeah, they're gonna commence with the push after this eggs.
And I guess eventually you can always help S4 free up a slot, you know, if the farm's there, which it almost certainly is going to be at this pace, you know.
You can feed yourself the eggs as well.
Exactly. There's still time to go. If OG want to sit about and farm and get those eggs out, they'll certainly feel very comfortable doing so. Butterfly next on the menu for No-Tail after the Basher and Miona completion. Jerax. Maybe seeing if we can get a hook here from the low ground. Bottom lane, No-Tail just straight up and in a quick reaction there with the Blade Fury. And in fact, Jerax does get the hook, brings out RTK. Tornado and EMP laid down by Freeze. The chaotic offerings out from Fly, forces aggressive to back up. RTK out and down for 90 seconds. And OG back in perfect position to push on this bottom lane. 4 versus 5. Can VG.J do anything aggressive? Pops the Shadow Dance just in time. But OG coming in big at 90% from FY. But the damage at this stage, it just isn't enough. They don't end up killing anyone. Aggressive backs off. Jerax just stands in the midst of them all and starts to chomp down on Invoker, who will be blinding lighted out to the side. F5 tries to come back in with the Burrow Strike, but the Tornado was already there holding Jerax in the air. Aggressive finally comes back down. Will manage to take down Jerax. Now turns towards S4. He's building up the stacks. You eat the cheese, I eat you, and I eat the cheese that you've just eaten, Aggressive says, as he swallows it out of the stomach of S4. S4 down, but the Rex have already fallen on VGJ's side of the map. On the bottom, OG still feeling confident with the lead, but a little sloppy and getting a little too gun-ho, giving away those 2 kills.
Still a good hold there by VGJ. Nevertheless, it's not mega creeps yet. There's still hope. Slug and Invoker are still getting items, and Invoker is really close to his level 25. I think he's gonna probably go for the Tornado cooldown. I think that talent is really good now. You see,
better, I guess, for considering the position that they're
he's
in,
gonna finish
the situation.
he's gonna finish his Octarine core. So the Tornado cooldown is 8 seconds after the talent. You can keep spamming. It's very difficult for the enemy team to push in. Most of the players get the Tornado cooldown now. It's really, really good. Only in very, very specific cases you want the AoE Deafening Blast.
VGJ out with the smoke. I mean, I tell you what, VGJ can pull this game back round. That's going to be incredibly impressive. And doing their darndest to do so.
The Aegis is running out though, so they're going to try to catch him maybe without... That's what they were thinking.
And they're watching, they're timing it.
But OG, you're not taking none of that. They're just hiding in the base. No one's showing bot, no one's showing mid. We don't have to go out.
Jerax. Just for the hook. Won't quite find it here. VGJ managing to get that ward down, aware of OG's presence.
Wait, what? He's buying a Dagon?
Why not? Get that Dagon Alchemist online, that's what I'm talking about. Went to jump forward here from OG, but in response, VGJ coming in, aggressive with the BKB, good pin of Malice, but the dismemberment, they kill him in time, they hold aggressive in place, and in fact, that might just end it. He's not got buyback available on the Slark. ROTK trying to Dark Rift himself back a few TIs. It's not going to happen. As OG now, that may be game over. There's no Slark here, Winter, for 80 seconds.
OG is just gonna go for it, wanting to force the buyback, but obviously Slug doesn't have buyback. But they're still gonna play really conservatively. Look at how they're playing. They're just using the illusions, they're running like standing very carefully, not trying to force too much. Just look at how they're playing, so disciplined.
Oh, and look at how Jerax is playing, so hooky. Won't get the kill himself, but no tells there with the jump forward, trying to finish off ROTK. The Grease Pop He's going to be able to keep himself alive. They are managing to slow down the push a little bit from OG. Combo comes through, immediately knocking them back, but there's the chaotic offering from Fly onto all 4. 3 are dead. GG is called from RTK. It's all over for VGJ. And OG with an incredibly solid Game 1 performance, and it just begs the question, Winter, do you just have to ban off the Alchemist? How do you avoid being caught off by this, or is it just drafting less greedier for VGJ?
It's so difficult to draft against Fly, I tell you that.
He's a genius.
That Alchemist pick was just so good, and it doesn't fit every game though, so you kind of have to like just be very careful when you're playing greedy and understand that they might pick Alchemist because it's OG. You can't really ban Alch every game though. There's so many heroes.
Yeah,
there's so many heroes you want to ban. It's just very difficult, Owen. The team has to, and their team has to play in this kind of like specific way though. They want to play like a greedy jungler, and it works for them, you know. So I mean, it's up to them. And then they're gonna have to ban Alchemist if they want to do the same thing. I think if your lineup can't punish Alchemist and you're greedy, Alchemist is just gonna outgreed you.
Absolutely. I mean, Anna, played the Alchemist perfectly, really, that game. We have seen it before.
Pudge is definitely my MVP.
Oh, yeah, Jerax, yeah. He had the flashy plays, he had the brilliant hooks.
Not only the flashy plays, though, he had the important plays.
He did. He was in the right place at the right time. It was just very, very impressive to see, how good Jerax's map awareness was.
Map movement.
There was never a point where it's like, what's the Pudge doing? He's wasting his time. He always had a plan, he always had an aim, and most of the time he was able to pull it off and get the kill off the back of it as well.
Only failed plan was the first bullet attempt, and second bullet attempt on the ROTK underlord when he was jungling and he reached the shrine.
Oh yes,
that was
that was we'll forget that for Jerax. That was the A little miscalculation. Didn't expect the shrine usage. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1, OG taking it confidently. Don't go anywhere because it's going to be very exciting to see how VG.J will react with Game 2 and the draft in particular. We'll see you very shortly.
Gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win. Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Hello and welcome back to StarLadder I-League StarSeries, where VG.J just had a really rough game against OG. They were able to hold on for a very long time due to a combination of their picks, but gentlemen, that was a loss for them. That is gonna be tough to come back from. I feel like they couldn't do anything. Jack, it happened exactly as you said. RTK went to the jungle and there was just a Juggernaut free farming, and they just couldn't do anything.
At times it felt like, I don't know if you guys have seen The Last Samurai, but there's a scene where Tom Cruise is in the Japanese village and they got the guy like just following him around wherever he goes. At times it felt a little bit like Jerax was in that position. And I feel like, well, there are other things too, like the intricacy of OG's draft. Having the Alchemist, who, if he's played well and he gets a good start, can actually put a lot of pressure on you and give you map control very early on. And then you have three sources of heal from the Alchemist, obviously his ultimate, the Juggernaut, and the Warlock, which can kind of hold towers and siege them and kind of overpower the Keeper of Light and Underlord spam. So a couple of layers working there very well for OG. It felt like they really did punish the kind of greed and from VGJ's lineup.
I think Winter said best when, if you're going to fight greed with greed, you're not going to be an Alchemist. Like, Alchemist always wins those greed battles, and he hits his timing early on where he takes advantage of the space more than like a Coddle Sanking support duo would do. Like that support duo was just way too greedy. The last pick Alchemist was perfect. I mean, it's one of those things where it could have worked perhaps if there wasn't an Alchemist in the game, so I think that pick did catch VGJ by surprise. But yeah, they had no answer for Anna on the Alchemist. Slacks.
Yeah, slacks.
I mean, one more could be said. I had high hopes, and we saw that Underlord come out. I was hoping that it would be more of aggressively used, but because of the draft that they had, it had to be defensive, and you could hold out for a long time.
And they did.
In a draft like that, holding out, that ain't the name of the game. Although, technically, it is Defense of the Ancient, but you have to kill the other Ancients.
They did show a bit of wiggle on the end of Jerax's hook, so to speak. But
sure.
Especially aggressive got away a number of times, but it just didn't feel like it was ever going to swing really in their favor. They were just getting away, surviving by the skin of their teeth, desperately trying to split push and stop the inevitable.
Those early hooks on the Invoker mid really set the tempo and were key for this game. That was where I think the game was almost won in a lot of ways. That first hook from the high ground where Invoker tried to turn around, get the kill to Sunstrike, Jerax dodges it because he has a haste rune. That right there ruins Invoker's lane. He then comes back, dies again. Like, he was just getting killed over and over again. And because of that, Alk's free farming. If that mid lane goes more VG's favor, I think it's a very different game.
There was actually a couple of moments where I thought that VGJ was in a good position. When the Underlord was getting stalked by Jerax, and Jerax thought he could kill him, but then there was a save by the Shrine, enough regen, they managed to kill Jerax's Pudge. I was like, okay, the first two kills go away, VGJ.
There's still an Alchemist.
This is going okay,
still
but
a Jug.
Yeah, I mean, it was
still an
Alchemist.
Alchemist.
But was this then a drafting issue, or was this an outplay issue?
The draft, I only see this draft working out for VGJ if they win that mid lane. And the Pudge doesn't allow that. You've got two supports in Sand and Coddle. Like, the Sand theoretically can roam a bit, but doesn't do what the Pudge does. Like, the Pudge won that mid lane, so if they somehow slow down Anna's farm, this could be a different game, but it just doesn't happen because of Jerax and Pudge.
He doesn't have that lane, that presence as a roamer as he used to be with the Sand King. Maybe more of a lane type of here now, whether it's a support or offlaner. Certainly not the ganking potential usually of a Pudge, unless you pair him with someone else who's also very good in that department, which with the Keeper of Light builds that you're seeing with the spamming out waves is not the case from that support duo. And then in terms of play, we mentioned Invoker, maybe a bit inexperienced in matches playing this Invoker a couple times, so maybe not as careful with the positioning as he could have been, but I think it would be a very difficult way for them to play in this lineup anyway.
Yeah. I think in terms of the lineup, like, again, it's OG. They're so good with the Alchemist. It's, I think, one of their most successful heroes as far as their drafts go. And whenever they get a chance to pull it out in these big tournament matches, they always seem to come out on top. It's what got them past EG at the Boston Major, and we're seeing it here again.
But would they have done better against an OD instead? It was VGJ that banned out the OD instead of the Alchemist at the end there with the Alchemist last pick for OG. Would they have done better? Is Invoker versus OD, that's still not a favorable matchup.
It's less about the matchup and more about what Alchemist turns the game into. It's like you've got to play. Alchemist forces you to play aggressive. Like you can't, which typically with VGJ is okay, but I think when they have those supports, it doesn't work that well. Underlords also, the way RT is not like the VGJ is a team that plays aggressive come mid game when they get their items, but they play a kind of greedy early game. Their lane stage is very farm intensive. RTK likes to hit up the jungle. He's kind of making up for the fact that aggressive isn't that like farming carry. So I think Alchemist is a hero that they're going to be looking out for, maybe second stage banning this game around.
Looking at it from OG's perspective, I think they would have liked to end that game a lot earlier than what they did. It was like going up against an Underlord and a Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, but
good luck doing that.
Hey, you're lucky to just end that game without throwing, right? I mean, so
reversing a Coddle, you know, he's just sitting high ground, spamming Illuminate. Good luck pushing into that.
Yeah.
And you have ROTK up top pushing out the waves and then turning on the car. Everyone gets on the bus and tries to go home from that. But it felt like a bit of a technicality. I guess that might be kind of annoying, but at some point they had seized very total map control, and it was very difficult to fight.
It never really felt like they were going to lose, even though there were some minor nuisances. Like Pudge got ganked and then they Dark Rift out. Oh, well, you lost to Pudge. Yeah, he's a pretty big gold target when he had that Acceptor pull, but it wasn't any game-changing pickoffs.
They banned the Warlock themselves.
Yeah, that team loves picking Warlock. Fly is a beast on that. What warrants a Warlock ban from OG?
So does VGJ.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
And OG have first pick, so they're hoping they can get like some really high value hero there. They're not normally first picking a Warlock necessarily, so perhaps expecting some like Warlock +1 opening from VG.
Yeah, maybe they just understand the strength of the hero, huh? So, okay.
I was saying, VG, do you ban a Keeper? Do you ban a Slardar? It leaves a couple of good first. Do you ban the Earth Spirit?
Yeah.
A couple of solid first pick options for OG.
You ban the Earth Spirit, absolutely.
Or ban out none of the three so you can have two of them.
Earth Spirit.
Whoa!
The thing is, the problem with Earth Spirit is you don't want to play Earth Spirit here, VGJ. You don't, I mean, FY apparently he has been practicing it, so can play it. But if you're OG, you're thinking, well, there's a good chance we get second pick Earth Spirit here. Like, why first pick a hero you can get with your second pick? It's not as hotly contested. If you're versing like another team, like a team like TNC, then yeah, first pick Earth Spirit. But you're versing VGJ, you know? FY Earth Spirit, haven't seen it yet. Might not be so good.
Well, they're considering not going with that insta-lock, and yeah, they're going to go with the Slardar. He does add a lot of versatility and a lot of different ways that they can play this game. So I'm surprised that they banned out that S4 Axe, though. Oh!
Okay.
We've seen RTK's Magnus earlier this tournament. It was phenomenal.
Absolutely. He won a match that he had no business winning just from his Magnus plays. I mean, he was all over the place and just blowing up Terror Blades and Ember Spirits. It was terrifying, Jack.
I believe, however, as part of the word on the street, this is one of the things that OG was ready for. I think they're prepared for this. Again, if ROTK does not have a great laning phase and he's forced to go into the jungle, OG will be looking to punish that.
Well, they've already picked up. I mean, I guess they could swap the Slaughter to the offlane if they want to pick up like that Ricky type full position hero. But in theory, they're picking like so far most of the time they're picking up this Slaughter for Jerax. The other hero they can do if they want to punish isn't pick up an offlane that punishes like a Darkseer. Go like Darkseer, Slaughter, dual lane, really crush the lane. We've seen how well S4 and Jerax can combo in the team fights with like a vacuum into a crush. So that to me is another hero which I'd keep an eye on for OG.
They could also try to grab the Lifestealer a bit earlier here, but it seems like something that would go with VGJ.
OG aren't like a Lifestealer picking team in the early stages. I think they're much more inclined to pick supports and offlaners. Like even a CM is a hero they've sometimes just picked up early on in a draft. Just since if you want to go like get Darkseer, having a CM aura really benefits and makes that Darkseer even stronger. So I'd be surprised by a Lifestealer pick just because it's not really OG style to go that all in with their first two. I also don't think Lifestealer against the RP, the physical damage of an Empowered Jug is the best pick.
Yeah.
OG is taking a long time to think about their second pick. I thought it was going to be
Yeah,
very easy to pick up the Earth Spirit, I was going to say, and it was there. It still is. I guess the Keeper of the Light was still left in there as well.
Reveals a bit more about where the slider's going, but it's Drake's Earth Spirit, so why not reveal it?
Yeah.
I think he walked us through that. Winter Wyvern pick up there. I guess that would diffuse a lot of what the Magnus brings to the table.
Yeah, great against the Omni/2, block all that damage.
And Fly mostly plays defensive heroes, so if you now also ban out the Dazzle, we're going to see him play something entirely different.
Oh, no. Can Fly play more than 2 heroes?
Oh, yes, he can.
Yo, fly CM, man. Don't discredit that one.
Of course.
True.
I mean, such a big hero pool from one of the world's best captains. So, reserve time coming out here.
The team with the slider bans Lifestealer. Not often you see that, but again, goes back to OG not wanting to play Lifestealer much. No-Tell, it's not one of his big go-to heroes, and I think OG actually just don't rate slider Lifestealer strat. Like, it's not their playstyle. For some teams, yeah, it's great and it is a go-to, but for OG, it's, again, too one-dimensional. They don't like putting all their eggs in one basket, which is that initiation, getting a kill, and if you don't get a kill, you lose the fight.
Yeah, it kind of becomes, it puts you in a position sometimes where you depend on the tempo from the Slardar bringing the Lifestealer on. If you aren't getting kills, controlling the game, it can put you very far behind.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's see what else we got here coming out. We got another ban.
I mean, VG are pretty flexible. Jug can go mid or safe lane. Last time they had this strat, Jug was mid, but that was largely because of the matchup versus Ember Spirit. So without the Ember Spirit there, the Jug may be more likely a safe lane hero, something aggressive can play.
1, 2, 3. Hey, there you go.
Hey, how you doing?
That's just checking.
1, 2, and pick number 3 coming out here for these teams.
I'm all good.
All right, so they're taking a long time with this ban. And there it
It's
is.
the
It's the
Dazzle
Dazzle.
now.
We've seen that so many times. Slardar Dazzle minus armor strat, kind of your go-to pairing this tournament.
Yeah.
And we have something else going out here. Now, what else, when you think VG.J, you think of, Jack? What are some other key heroes we should be watching out for?
Well, usually by their third pick, they would have picked ROTK's hero, and so obviously we expect that to be the Magnus. So in this situation, I'm not sure if they want to hide their mid a little bit or if they're going to go for that Ember and Storm, which are both still on the table right now, and add a bit of tempo for them to add that counter initiation from the Magnus into. We saw them run that decently yesterday, so see if they go in that direction here.
I wouldn't doubt one of the brothers coming up, for sure.
There's
brother, though?
Which
You're leaving your options open.
there are a lot of supports already banned.
Yep.
And there's still a lot of supports that needed to be picked up by VG.J. So we still have Rubik in the pool, and we know FY is amazing at Rubik. Which other heroes for Fenrir? Fenrir normally plays the defensive supports.
There's still Shadow Demon. Everyone kind of stopped
There
picking
is.
him.
You're right.
But
Who likes Shadow Demon? That hero
you know who
stinks.
does? DC likes Shadow Demon.
Yeah,
It's still
look what that got him. The DC Shadow Demon game. What a disaster. So I really doubt we'll be seeing that, but I do appreciate the thought. And if that comes up right now, I'll certainly look a fool.
I think OG is more likely to play Shadow Demon than VG, but
Yeah, sure.
I mean, again, you get down to limited supports, and all the popular supports right now are banned, so that's where you do go back to Shadow Demons often. But I think OG is also likely to pick a CM. Oh, speaking of supports, of course, there's Rubik.
Yeah. Surprised nobody thought that one through. We've seen Rubik in pretty much every single series.
I
but
just said that.
Except
surprised
I
nobody
thought
hit
it
important.
through.
I'm just kidding. Sorry, Shoes.
That's okay, but yeah, FI is really good at that, but leaves Fenrir hero unchecked for now. OG, what are they looking for here? Are they gonna pick up the Invoker straight away? Totally was not. I totally knew that was gonna happen.
That was
I was
great.
gonna say that even before Invoker.
Are they going to pick up the Invoker? Yes. Watch it right here, and boom, there it is. Boom goes the Dynamite as the Invoker is picked up. I like that, you know? Got some tornadoes, got some ways to deal with that Magnus team fight and make sure that it's not all so bad, especially when they're banning out a lot of these great defensive supports against that initiation. Invoker gives you a little bit of breathing room, helps you with that early game, and certainly not a bad pickup there from OG.
Also, like a pseudo split pushing hero too, if you're worried about like the 5-man with a Magnus RP rather than trying to team fight, you can just split push out the lanes with Invoker, do so pretty safely with Forward Spirits, and then TP in with the Boots of Travel if there's a favorable fight that you want to take. So that kind of global aspect is definitely something the Invoker benefits from.
Global gaming, never bad, Mr. Jack. Sunstrike Invoker, perhaps, this game?
Quite likely. Also depends on what comes out, and it is from the spirits. If it was the Ember Spirit, maybe the other direction, but in this case, also pretty good synergy with Stardart or Spirit, whoever they pick up in terms of extending that range if he does go for that Exort build.
Tough Storm game. All three of these heroes, not stuff you necessarily want to be versing if you're a Storm Spirit, but a comfort hero for Freeze, and a hero that I think VG.J just feel good about playing with. It fits their style, gives them a good pick off and catch, which is saying you don't want to have to be throwing an RP and relying entirely on that for catch, so the Storm gives them a nice bit of long distance jump.
So what are we seeing that is lacking on VG.J so far? They got the catch, they got the team fight, they don't really have a lot of high ground potential.
No,
unless you have extra vision, maybe a vision style hero that can help out.
The Coddle's banned for that, so they're looking for, I guess look first at the player and the role. They're looking for most likely a support.
Yeah, a Fenrir hero.
Fenrir 5 position, or if he's playing a 5 Rubik, then a 4 position hero for FY. But if you're gonna go push, there's like Jakiro type heroes available.
Jakiro? I haven't seen Jakiro in a long time.
Those support span, you're gonna start
there are a lot of
digging deep down into that basket.
I think if they want to give FY this Rubik, I think we've seen Fenrir play some Disruptor as well, still in his pool, and gives them. It is good against some of the heroes that OG has in terms of bringing them back into position.
This was like back when Jug was really popular and Sven was also popular. You'd pick Sven against Jug. It was like this. Sven counters the Jug because he Omni Slashes you walk right. That's a ton of bonus armor for your entire team. Negates large portion of the Omni Slash damage. So it was this like Sven counters Jug kind of matchup. I have not seen Sven in a long, long time.
Yeah. But there surely is a reason that you haven't seen Sven in a long, long time. What is that reason?
Mask of Manners got kind of nerfed. The hero itself, Cleave, got like destroyed. Like that Cleave just got changed all over the place. So
you can't stack as frequently.
Yeah, the stack in the jungle, that's a big part of it. And the hero just doesn't like play fast enough tempo, needs a few items before he starts fighting with his team. And isn't necessarily like for Nota, like he's gonna want to. Normally he fights and gets involved. I expect like a Helm of the Dominator build. He really loves to grab those early creeps. Something KPXE2 was that he uses and micros his creeps better than anyone.
Oh, hello.
The game also feels a little bit more mobile now than it was before, and you kind of don't want to have this situation where you're counting on the Sven to deal fight-determining damage before he gets kited. And then also in conjunction with some of the armor reduction from Stardart and the burst potential from Invoker, if they execute well, could get some kills very quickly on relatively squishier heroes for VG.J right now.
Oracle really empowers this Sven though. Like this Sven pick works a lot better because of that. If he's getting locked down in an RP, he can be saved and bailed out. Okay. Something different from both teams. I mean, a bit more of the same from VG.J with the opening two, but the supporting casts, we're seeing Undying, we're seeing Oracles. It's going to be
so, game 3, yay or nay? Jack, you first.
I'm sticking with OG here. I think they're very well prepared. They're executing very well, both big picture and tactically, and I think they're just too strong of a team right now.
All right, David?
I'm going to stick with OG as well. I feel like they've got a good plan to take advantage of the Magnus. They got some good greed going. Like Sven's a greedy pick, but that's how they did well last game. The greed against the farming style of ROTK.
Sorry, boys, but I do not believe in the Undying. I got to make it a full panel. OG, I'm not going to stick away from it.
Wow.
Sorry.
This is a tournament first.
I agree.
You agree with analysts?
You can prove me wrong, Chinese Dota. Please do. Prove me wrong, boys.
VG.J is going to try their hardest to prove all them boys wrong. And we're going to head over to ODPixel and Winter to find out if they can.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Indeed, Game 2, VG.J versus OG. And as they've been saying on the panel, an exciting draft here, Winter. Totally different. We're seeing Magnus Jug coming out from one side, and on the other side, they're bringing Sven. They're bringing Oracle. I didn't even know these heroes were in the game, Winter. Talk it through.
I like the Undying the most, though. That's by far, I think, the most interesting switch up for RTK's team. Undying doesn't... Oh, RTK is playing the Undying?
You didn't expect this winter, did you?
Wait, Magnus is jungle?
You did. Magnus jungle. That's a report.
Wait, what's actually going on? Is RTK the support this game?
I believe he is. A bit of roll movement by the looks of it. Well, FY, he's kitted up with... Yeah, that's 8 tangos. That ain't no support, boy. FY says, step aside, sir. I'm going to RP.
You know, I was going to say I like the Undying change because it shows that they're not going to be so greedy. They're going to focus more on the lane, where the last game they didn't focus so much on the lanes, and they got roamed and pressured by Jerax.
This is very, very interesting. This is going to be exciting to watch. If VG.J can pull off a win with this little bit of a switch around, change of tactics, could be quite spectacular indeed. Winter, OG, again, this Oracle final pickup, you know, Fly. Something in the past, you know, a fair few patches back, we saw, you know, OG bring out the Fly kind of on these saving people that are making questionable plays, heroes like Dazzle, like Oracle. He's incredibly good on them. Why don't we see more Oracle? What's kind of wrong with the hero in a lot of pros' minds, do you feel?
The mana cost, the increase in mana cost was really, really difficult for the hero. Oh, mid lane, Jerax is running around, trying to see what can he do in the lane. And he's going to be able to maybe set up a kill at some point on the Storm, because Storm doesn't have an escape mechanism before he has level 6.
And Freeze has to be careful how far he comes up the lane indeed with Jerax. Looking to get that position. Top lane at the moment, aggressive. Staying true to his name, will be farming aggressively. As VG.J look to put pressure on No-Tail's farm. And then this bottom lane matchup. FY, the beautiful man himself, playing the solo safe lane Magnus, getting that 1v1 with S4 on the Slardar. How do you expect this one to go down? Are we just to see both heroes get farm? Or top lane? I mean, look at this Winter. They're diving the tower. They're lifting up an Oracle. They're Blade Fury in the two of them. Yeah, it's got the magic resist here, but is it going to be enough? Fly getting chased down, taken down. And VG.J, I tell you what, they've got this little plan in there up their sleeves, and it's working out. No-Tail, he's surrounded by enemy creeps. He's got no backup, no friends here to help him, and VG.J, the crowd is loving it. And I believe some of you, ladies and gentlemen, at home will as well. This kind of play style that they're bringing out, it's incredibly refreshing, Winter, after game 1.
They're switching lanes as well. That is a big, big sign that OG has conceded the top lane. There's no way they are going to be able to go back and try and farm after the Undying got 2 kills for his team. I mean, this pick has so far been working really well. Like I said, I was really, really happy to see this hero because it tells you that they're going to change up their playstyle. They're going to put a lot more focus on the lane, and look at that. Double TPs to the bot lane just to follow the Sven.
Oh, here we go. Cheer for the rotation, but it's OG that's going to make the first move onto FY. Sunstrike there as well. They'll get the telekinesis onto S4. No-Tail comes in with the Storm Hammer, trying to finish off FY, but he can't quite do it. No-Tail's got to be careful. RTK being body blocked up by S4 here. He's trying to save his Sven. S4 may pay off his life, though, and indeed he will. With a shockwave from FY to seal the deal, and VG.J pick up a 3rd kill. And they say that no lane is safe, OG, no matter how much you switch it up.
This Orb of Venom Undying definitely making all the plays. Right now, they're TPing S4 towards the top lane. They're just gonna leave No-Tail down here. He's gonna have a very, very hard time getting his items this game. And this switch up is definitely working for Vichy, putting much more emphasis on shutting down OG in the lanes, not allowing the Earth Spirit to roam. Because when you have strong lanes, it makes it difficult for Jerax to want to move around. He's going to be like, oh, my lanes are also having trouble. Do I go back to the lanes? Do I roam? My Sven can't farm. He has to be more cautious with making his decisions. But when you're jungling like the last game, he's just free to roam the map. And you saw what he could do if you allow him to do that.
And the thing is as well, you know, because of what's been going on the side of it all.
Oh, No-Tail, another TP out.
We'll be fine. There's nothing to hold him.
TPs.
They want to try and make a play, but Jerax unable to get any sort of setup onto aggressive. You know, he's not been able to really put any pressure on mid, so in the mid lane, Storm is on par with Evoker top lane. Jarek's actually being gone on here with a Blade Fury. There'll be a Stormhammer to hold back No-Tail, but aggressive, diving in, looking for the Earth Spirit kill, but Jarek's kicks him back, rolls away. They'll surround RTK. RTK trying to work it out with a healing ward. He's going to make it aggressive. And Fenrir getting together to save ROTK with those heals.
This is so bad for OG right now. They're wasting so much time. They're not securing any lanes. They're not killing anyone. And they have left bottom lane free for the whole time. Like VG has been farming all 3 lanes and not losing any heroes anywhere towards the OG rotations.
And you can see that on the CS at the moment. Out of the top 4 at the moment, 3 members of VGJ out of this laning stage. OG have got to do something to rectify it. You can see Fly and Jarex trying to set something up in the mid lane. They want to try and catch out Freeze.
Look at the wards, Owen. How are they going to catch him? They see everything.
He knows exactly what's up, Freeze. And he's very close to that level 6 as well. Of course, that crucial point that beforehand it's quite a tad bit easier to gank that Storm Spirit, but he's going to have it. And making the life of OG that little bit harder to do something about this early game momentum that VGJ have.
They need to look to get like a kill somewhere. They have to find a kill. I think that's their first small step they need to make.
Jarex is moving down to the bottom and realizes, Storm with the 6. A harder gank. FY. Again, someone that they are going to have to be careful. He does have RP as well. So things could be turned around if they make a go onto it.
This is not an easy kill. Any TP reaction, if you don't kill him in one stun, it's going to be very dangerous for OG.
Alright, CK. He's just going to play around with No-Tail. No backup. But he's going to be causing a bit of a nuisance for the Sven. Just making it so hard for No-Tail here in this early game. Just look at some of the CS. I mean, top CS at the moment. I love it. It's FY on the Magnus. We said he was kind of moving from the support to the offlane. He's moving all the way up to position 1, Winter. As I say that, he could be in trouble here as OG look to find themselves their first kill of the game. They will surround him. A Sunstrike to find the kill for Anna as well. They managed to shut down the Magnus, and he was the guy having the best of times on the map at the moment, so it's a good kill for OG.
A big kill for OG as well. They needed to upset the rhythm that VG are setting right now. They're pressuring all 3 lanes. That kill was so important for them too. They're gonna be losing the tier 1 at top, but at least they're getting something in return. And Sven has to somehow find a way to farm his way back into this game. He is getting almost close to very little farm right now.
And that tower goal, of course, for VGJ, going to be a nice little bonus.
I mean, I guess on the bright side, Invoker is getting uncontested farm at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were 7 minutes in and just a couple of hundred away from the Midas Gold.
I mean, all he has to do is just to, drop Sunstrikes when the Earth Spirit and Slala roams, or even the Sven finds a kill somewhere with the stun. There's still a lot of opportunities for OG to move around and get kills because they have their high burst with the Sunstrike. They just need to find the openings to get it done.
This could be very nice as well for OG. S4 finding an Invis rune.
This could be the opening they need.
If he can use that to set up on potentially someone on the mid lane, and indeed that's going to be the target as they bring in Fly as well. S4 and ROTK. A killer's a kill. Maybe would have hoped for something bigger. They are going to try and make a go on him, and with the crush and the Sunstrike bringing him down low, but there's the clap. It's not enough to save him. They do get the kill on ROTK. Find the Undying. Quickly get themselves back out.
Yeah, any kill they can get their hands on right now. No tier on the Sven is just... He's going to take a long time to farm to get himself back into this game. At this point, all he can do is to rely on his team, to make space, the Slada, hopefully to get his dagger. S4 is not even getting a Trankles. This is how desperate they are. They're going to need him to rush that dagger and make space for the Sven to farm.
Bottom lane, talking about farm, FY continues to have a grand old time on the Magnus. 3.6k in middle lane. Aggressive for Amfreeze, putting the pressure on Anna. Just have to kind of ghost walk and hide up. Low on the mana. RTK in the neighborhood as well. They don't have any detection, so just using this
it's just annoying them.
Time to pressure the tower. And they may as well just be able to finish this off pretty soon. There's not too much being done by OG to slow them down. Only Anna and Fly hanging around. Jerax is stacking up the Ancients for Notel, trying to set up that catch-up potential for Notel to get himself back in a healthy position in terms of farm.
Defend here. They don't want VGJ to get any free towers here.
Notel, he's on his own down bottom. Fade Bolt, and now through the follow-through Stewart to slow him down, get Fenrir in range for a possible telekinesis. Notel just on the other side of the trees, but there we go. They'll grab him, bring him back. FY. Oh! He gets across the cliff, but FY will continue to hunt him down. And despite OG's best efforts, Notel will still fall. Mid lane, Anna has to TP back to base. It's very low as the Freeze made a bit of an initiation onto him. And bottom lane, VGJ in a perfect position to take another tier 1 and keep this momentum going, Winter.
If he was able to kick him a little bit to the left, he probably would have lived there. That was like such a big play there by Jerax on the Earth Spirit if it worked. Those next level plays. They're going to have level 6 on the Earth Spirit right now, so hitting a power pick of the hero, maybe they can use this to try and get a key pick off on, say, a Storm or even a Magnus. Magnus is